Hi, welcome to Encouragement for Today. I'm Pastor Emily. Today I want to bring up the question of how we see the people around us. So maybe think about somebody that really gets under your skin and irritates you. How do you see that person? I think it can be easy to become comfortable in our lives and to only want things that are comfortable when religion is more than me and God. Religion is also how God shapes the way that each one of us sees the people around us. I bring this up because I have personally felt called out about this lately, where I've been noticing people that have offended me in different ways or hurt me. My vision of them gets jaded, and that's a pretty natural human reaction. But Jesus, I believe, calls us to be able to set that aside and be curious about their life in a bigger picture. Maybe to wonder how they became the way that they are, to wonder if we stepped back into the big picture, what would God see? And I've thought maybe God would see, okay, Emily's pretty sensitive. Why is Emily so sensitive? And then God might also see, okay, this person can be kind of mean, but how much abuse have they absorbed throughout their entire life? And part of me pictured the other day, when we get to heaven, I think we're all going to laugh about our own baggage and our own little quirks and see a bigger picture of life and have a bigger capacity for grace and for love. So how can we move towards that now, even if we can't do it perfectly? So I was reading a book about the Bible, the big picture of the Bible, and the author said, I wonder if Jesus really spent a lot of time taking Ezekiel 34 to heart, because there's a lot of imagery about being a shepherd of the people. In Ezekiel, they're in exile in Babylon. The Israelites are in exile, and God says, your leaders, your shepherds, they were out for themselves and they stopped really caring for the needs of the people. And that was the beginning of a downward spiral. And God ends up saying, I will send a shepherd. I will be their shepherd. So there's this foreshadowing promise of Jesus. If you're a Christian, you might see that. And then in the Gospels, beautifully, Jesus has shepherd language come up multiple times where he is the good shepherd that leaves the 99 behind to go look after the one that's lost, to go find that one. Or Jesus, he looks out at the crowds and he's moved with compassion because he sees the people like they are sheep without a shepherd. So instead of seeing their behaviors like we can do, like, oh, that person is so hard to tolerate because X, Y, Z, Jesus doesn't see that. Jesus sees souls that are in need. And so can we grow to be like that? Hear these words from Ezekiel 34. Mortal, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say to them, to the shepherds, thus says the Lord God. You shepherds of Israel who have been feeding yourselves, should not shepherds feed the sheep? You eat the fat, you clothe yourselves with the wool. You slaughter the fatlings, but you do not feed the sheep. You have not strengthened the weak, you have not healed the sick. You have not bound up the injured, and you have not brought back the strayed. You have not sought the lost, but with force and harshness you have ruled them. So they were scattered, because there was no shepherd, and scattered they became food for all the wild animals. My sheep were scattered. They wandered over all the mountains and on every high hill. My sheep were scattered over all the face of the earth, with no one to search or seek for them. How can we be more curious about the people around us, even the people that get under our skin. And yes, boundaries are important at times, but how can our vision and our grace abound even more? We'll talk to you again soon.